Welcome to Rest Days with Ryan. Whether you're resting today or training, we don't discriminate here, okay? So, today, we're going to talk about the fact that I'm clearly sick. Clearly. Of course, it happens right before I'm supposed to go home for Thanksgiving, which, by the way, at the time this has come out, Thanksgiving is past. So, happy Thanksgiving if you celebrate that. But yeah, it's just funny how it's like when I would get sick, when I first started lifting, I remember I would freak out. I think that's kind of a universal experience for most people that have gone to the gym, especially when you like don't know too much. Yeah, I remember I really remember crashing way out the first time I got sick because I lost like 8 pounds, probably like 8 pounds. And obviously, at the time I didn't understand how atrophy or hypertrophy worked. So I literally thought I lost like 8 pounds of muscle. And I remember crashing out to my mom, being like, oh my God, this is so stupid. And she obviously was just like, oh, honey, I'm so sorry. I'm sure you'll get it back. Like, what are you supposed to say to some 19-year-old kid who just has convinced himself that he's lost 8 pounds of muscle? Obviously, now I know that atrophy takes usually 2 to 3 months of like inactivity for it to set in, right? So obviously, it's not possible to lose probably even a pound. I guarantee there's no way you lose a pound in a week from being sick, like muscle wise. I don't know. I don't want to say like under any possible circumstance that it's impossible to lose a pound of muscle in a week, but definitely not from being sick. But anyway, yeah, I remember I would get so mad, and it's funny because it would continue to happen. Because actually, the first year I was lifting, I don't know why, but my immune system was just absolutely cooked. And I remember I was getting sick, probably like every other month. It felt like, and I literally would get up just as upset every single time, and it literally took years and years, and then of lifting, I guess, and learning about kind of how the gym works. And then seeing memes about it online helped a lot too for me to be like, oh shoot, like I was tripping this whole time. Good, good. But I definitely see that still nowadays. Like as a coach, some of my clients have gotten sick in the past and they're like, bro, like I lost so much progress. Like, what do I do? I'm like, look, bro, I promise you, you did not lose muscle. I promise you're fine. Really, what it is, in case you're like, well, are you gonna tell us what it is? It's basically just water and glycogen, like just dumping out of your system, right? Like they say, stay hydrated because your body needs water to get better when you're sick. Um, and yeah, I mean, you literally think about it like this, right? Like when you lose like 10 pounds in a week, right? If you do that from when you're sick, there's a good chance you probably weren't drinking enough water. Or if you were, you were just like literally your body's just disposing of fluid, right? So obviously the body's majority water. So understand that. Two, I guarantee you're not eating like the 300 grams of carbs you're used to eating or more, right? Or even less. So your body's not carved up. You're definitely not locked into your diet. There's just no way. Like you feel like crap. You're trying to recover. That's fine. Like you don't have to be locked in all the time. So does it not maybe make more sense that maybe your body's just like not holding on to as much water weight as possible or as it's used to doing? And maybe you're just not as carved up as you were. Because it's so funny because then the next week you'll be fine. Like things will go back to normal within a week or two at most. But then it happens again. You're like, bro, what's going on? Yeah. So I hope that helps. If anyone is not, or if anyone listening to this right now didn't understand how that worked or thought that they were losing muscle when they got sick, I hope that makes you feel better. Um, Now, granted, there is sometimes when you get sick, yes, like you actually can lose muscle when you get sick. And this happened to me. If you've been following me long enough, which if you haven't been, totally cool. I'm not going to be upset. But I actually did get something called mononucleosis, better known as mono or the kissing disease. And I remember when I got mono, everyone's like, "Who are you kissing?" I'm like, "Dude, it literally nobody." Like that's the answer is nobody. Like I wasn't running around kissing people. Like I'm 99% sure I got it from my gym water fountain because, and I'll get into like why I actually did lose muscle. I'm very certain, by the way, from when I had this. I'll get into that, but I'm very certain it came from the gym because there was another kid. So I was out for almost 3 months, and by the time I had like gotten back into the gym, some guy came up to me. I didn't know him. I guess he knew who I was, probably from social media, or maybe he knew like my younger brother. I don't know. I can't remember. It was years ago. But he was like, "Yo, like I saw you had mono." I'm like, "Yeah, why?" And he was like, "Yeah, I did too." I'm like, "Seriously?" And I said, "Well, let me ask you, like, are you by chance like drinking out of the water fountains here?" And he was like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "Right. And like, do you go out much?" He's like, "No." I was like, "Do you share drinks with people?" "No." I was like, "Okay." It's like, "When did you get it?" And we got it around the same exact time. So like the only real I guess conclusion to come to is that the gym water fountain, someone was licking it. I don't know. Like who was licking the water fountain in my gym? Like, because whoever you are, you an op for real. Because you put me out of the gym for almost 3 months, and I did literally lose muscle mass. I literally turned into this little stick. I wasn't just losing water weight and glycogen. I mean, I was losing that. But man, like I legitimately lost strength. I lost size. Like my muscle tissue just like shrank. Granted, like I was drinking like throughout that process. I was depressed and I was just like partying my way through it, I guess. So that was my fault. But and that definitely didn't help. But regardless, like I actually did wind up losing muscle because what happens when you get mono is your spleen enlarges and any sort of like heavy physical activity or even like impact can cause internal bleeding. No joke. And so my doctor straight up told me, she was like, yeah, like, you know, one, you won't be able to lift because you'll end up becoming too lethargic if you try. But two, if you do lift, there is a chance, yeah, you could get internal bleeding. And I was like, what? What are you? I'm 19 years old hearing this. I'm like, what? Internal bleeding? Are you even kidding me? Like that's a scary thing to hear about. Um, and so there was one time I did try to lift, and for whatever reason, I thought it'd be a good idea to deadlift. I even like pulled my normal weight. I pulled 405 for a couple of reps. I don't know what I was thinking. And after I was done, I legitimately almost fell asleep at the gym. I had to go home. So I was like, Danny, take me home. And we went home and I was just like so exhausted. It was crazy. Because that's another thing about mono is you're like lethargic or like exhausted all day. Doesn't matter what you do. Like you are exhausted. And the way I found out I even had this was I kept waking up in cold sweats. But like not just like a little bit of sweat, but like a puddle of sweat. And at one point I legitimately was like, did I just like piss on myself in my sleep or something? Like what, like why am I soaking wet? And I started feeling like my body, like half asleep, and I'm like feeling my legs. I'm like, let me see if I did completely dry. It's literally all my upper body. But I got up out of bed and I looked at my sheets and it was just like this huge, like it was saturated. Like my whole upper body was saturated. So obviously I didn't pee myself, but it just kept happening over and over and over again, almost every single night. And it got to the point I was like, something's wrong. And what's crazy is after I finally got cleared, not 2 weeks later on Labor Day, or was it Memorial Day? That sounds so dumb, probably for sure. Whichever one comes second in the year, like after summer, man. I probably sound so stupid and out of touch. But that day, that whatever day it is, right? Whichever holiday that was, I got like just randomly chills and I got nauseous. And next thing you know, I'm like freezing cold, but I'm hot as shit at the same time. And so we were all at like this Airbnb, my family and Danny. I don't know if Brandon had a friend or not. Brandon's my younger brother. But my mom and my girlfriend literally had to rush me back home. They drove home and like I had potato skin all over me. Like they were doing everything, like all the old witch's tales, like potato skin, ice pack, all this stuff. And it was bad. Like it literally got to the point this second time, my throat got so swollen. I literally could not talk. Literally, like it closed my. I don't even know. Honestly, I couldn't tell you. Like I'm not a doctor, but um, yeah, whatever part of my throat that mono was attacking, it caused so much inflammation and swelling. I literally could not speak, and I could barely eat. That went away after a few days, but it was really scary. And they told me like, yeah, like you somehow recontracted mono. I was like, what? And they were like, we're really surprised that this happened. We've never seen this before, but it's true. And it was the same doctor, by the way, that had originally told me I had mono and that I was clear to go back into the gym. And so, yeah, I caught mono again. The second time around, it didn't last as long. So I was able to get back to the gym after like a week. But yeah, you literally can't lift for like 2-3 months after getting mono. And it's crazy because I posted a TikTok about my experience with it. And it's like now blowing up all of a sudden, like from 2-3 years ago. And people are like in the comments, like, yeah, like I'm gonna try to lift today. It's been a week, and I want to go in and reply to all of them. I'm like, bro, like, there's just so many comments, and all these people are just like making terrible decisions. I don't even know what to do. Also it's not like my responsibility to be the mono uh, whisperer. Like I don't want to be known as the mono guy. You know, I'm not a doctor either, so I don't really want to tell people what to do. But it's crazy because people like will not take the 2 months, which you're supposed to do. So yeah, like if you have mono or you know someone that has mono, tell them not to lift. It's just really dangerous. But yeah, mono really screwed me up, man. Like I think I was at like 100, 60, like 5 pounds or something like that when I first got it. And then I ended up losing 10 pounds and not of like water and glycogen. Like I said, like I definitely lost some muscle too. It's anyway, that's like one of the few cases we're getting sick. Obviously, beyond anything terminal, something terminal, obviously, yeah, you'll lose gains. But like viral, that's one of the only things I can think about that would actually potentially make you lose muscle. So yeah. Anyway, that's my experience with mono. It really sucked. It really did. I hated it. And I'm glad that I won't have it, or I don't have it right now. But unfortunately, it's kind of like COVID, like, or not, it's not like COVID. 'Cause the antibodies don't stay in your system forever. But I'm trying to think of like what I don't know what to compare it to. But essentially, once you get mono once, you're just likely going to get it again because it stays in your system. So I'm like, great. So realistically, how long will it be? And they're like, probably like 10 years or something. And honestly, by that point, you'll probably be fine since you'll be like in your 30s. Because apparently mono also can only affect you up to a certain age. Like once you like break 30, apparently it doesn't even like, can't even touch you. But then funny enough, it's like, oh, okay, like 10 years. If it ever happens again, cool. 2 weeks later, mono. And they were like, yeah, we're sorry about that. But anyway, yeah, that's kind of my experience with mono. And it actually did mess my gains up. So don't get mono. Don't drink out of your gym water fountain. And if you do, make sure you trust the gym. Because mine had that filter thing too. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, where it's like filter status. Apparently, like they had a good filter on it, but it's not enough. So anyway, yeah, I also wanted to just follow up with the last podcast and tell you that I still have not watched the It show. That's all. Moving back to the fact that I will be going home. So I feel like at this point, like, yeah, like I'm a little bit under the weather. I think it's just a cold. I've been medicating myself. My like go-to for when I start feeling sick is I'll go straight to the grocery store. I'll get immunity shots, like those little like super shots. I'll get one that has like turmeric, and then another one has like ginger, and I'll slam those. I also will get like a Gator Light Zero, slam that. Not literally, by the way. I'm not just like doing this all back to back to back to back and like slamming literally everything, but I'm drinking it all. I'll do a pack of Emergency as well because it has a lot of vitamin D, zinc, vitamin C, obviously. I'll take a zinc supplement as well because I've noticed that the Emergency packets themselves don't have a lot of zinc in them. So I'll take a zinc supplement as well. And then I'm just drinking a ton of water all day, like all day. And if I have access to a sauna, I'll hit the sauna, or I might do like some light cardio, try to sweat it out and stay active. So yeah, that's kind of like my protocol when I get sick. I feel so much better than I did this morning, but I've been kind of like slowly building up with this. And it sucks because it's like, oh, like I'm kind of excited to go home for once, I guess. Not really excited. I guess more so like intrigued at what it'll be like to go back to my hometown for the first time because I've never left my hometown. Now, obviously, I've been on vacation and stuff, but like, but I've never lived anywhere else. I never went away to college. I stayed at home for college. And yeah, it's definitely gonna be weird. I'm not gonna lie, like for some reason I feel like it's not gonna, I don't know, like that's the thing. Like here's the thing, man. Like I'm so much older than most people are when they first leave like home. A lot of people go away in college, right? And they're away from home and they're used to that. I never had that experience. So like for me, this is like I really don't know what to expect. But the one thing I can definitely say was moving away was the best idea I've ever had. The longer I'm away from home, and it hasn't even been like a year yet. It's been, I want to say, almost half a year. But it really opens up your mind to like how the rest of the world is, because you get really confined to your hometown and like seeing the same things every day. You get normalized to it, right? Like, for example, like if you grow up in a mansion, you're gonna think that that's normal, right? But until you hit a certain age, obviously. But you ask an 8-year-old, like, oh, like, do you think that everyone has a mansion? They'll probably be like, oh yeah, like, you know, or like you have a, if you're homeless, right? Well, I think maybe a homeless person, even a young homeless person, would know that's probably not normal since most people are not sleeping on the side of the road. But let's say like maybe like a low income family, right? Like someone maybe like living like, I don't even know what the heck do you call it? Like sectioned housing, right? So they may not understand that that's not normal until they hit a certain age, right? And so it's kind of the same goes true, in my opinion, with your hometown. You get really stuck in these ideals that everyone else kind of just seems to agree on, because generations of the same people for the most part like grew up, had kids, taught them the same things, and they obviously stayed in that area because they agree with those ideals, right? Like where I come from, very government, very cookie cutter, 9 to 5. It seems like every family, it's like the wife works for the government for some sort of government job, and then the husband does some sort of corporate job, right? It's the same thing everywhere. And everyone's house looks the same. Like there's not like that crazy of a wealth gap. Like granted, yeah, like there's like some insanely rich people, but I'd say like the whole area is pretty much like media or middle class. And yeah, like you kind of just get bound to the ideals of the people around you. So part of the reason I struggled with social media for a long time, I thought it was weird. I mean, I still do think it's weird in its own, in a weird way. Yeah, I think it's weird in a weird way. No, I mean, I definitely know it's not normal yet. I think it's getting to that point, but even still, like, or let me say it like this: it's even worse when you're home and everybody thinks it's weird. So then now I honestly probably think it's weird because I grew up where I grew up. Like if I had lived in LA, this probably would not feel weird to me at all. If I grew up where I live now, probably wouldn't feel weird at all, right? But yeah, like everyone was telling me, like, well, let me not say that. I'm like over exaggerating. People didn't tell me that what I do is weird, but most of your teachers and stuff, like they don't believe in like doing anything crazy where I'm from. They just want you to go to college, get your degree, and then go do basically whatever your dad did, right? And if you're the woman, you're either getting a government job or you're staying at home. Like that's just like what it seems like for the majority, right? Now I'm not going to say that's literally everyone where I grew up. Obviously, that's not the case. But it's like a very big majority of people, at least of people that I know. And anyway, yeah, it's just not really a chase your dreams kind of place. And so I just felt weird. Like there were times I'd try to film and it just didn't like work. Like I remember there was this one time I was filming with some of my friends and we were just like filming for a YouTube video. I was at Kava, yeah. And these group of guys like were like just making fun of me, like straight to my face. And my friends, we don't really talk too much anymore, but they were both from Baltimore. So like they, they weren't from around where I was from because I met them going to Exile. And they're great guys. But it's funny because like they were like, oh really? Oh really? And I was like, nah, chill. Like that's not, we can't, not around here. Like it's just not gonna go that way. Or you just can't get away with that stuff. Like unfortunately, like people will talk the shit they want and you can't really do nothing. And yeah, it's just funny. Like that's just one example. Another time too, like I can't even like go out where I live. Like I literally can't. My brother and I were talking about this. Not to say like I'm a celebrity. I'm not. I'm not even kind of. But when you grow up in a semi small area, right, where everybody knows each other, yeah, like if you have over 100,000 followers, like yeah, like a lot of people will know that, right? Because word travels. And I was already kind of like known ish to a certain extent, mostly because of my younger brother who had a lot of friends. So that, obviously didn't help to begin with, but because I was not popular at all. Like no one knew who I was. And that's fine. Like I don't care. I never did social media for the followers, I guess. Like I never even meant to make this a job, but it just is now. And I'm happy about it because I like fitness. So but point is, like, I remember one time, like I literally was out at a bar and like out like just in going out, right? In the going out area, the designated place where everybody goes. And like this kid comes up to me and he's just like, yo, like you or like F you, like I don't like the way you look. And I was like, what? Like, and this, by the way, like I wasn't drinking. I probably had like one beer at like a prior bar. We were like bar hopping and I just wasn't in the mood. I was tired. And this was like the last stop of the night. We were just going to go see some of my friends that were at this other place. It was just me and Danny. And I remember being like, what? And he just walked away, like into the crowd of people that were all dancing, listening to music. And I was talking to this guy. He was like, "Oh, dude, like don't even worry about him. Like, I kicked his ass like last week." I'm like, "Seriously? This guy just starts stuff like that?" He's like, "Yeah, and he never finishes it." I was like, "Oh, okay, cool, whatever." Then he comes back over again, like 5 minutes later. He's like, "Oh, like you're good, by the way, bro." I'm like, "Who are you? Like, I don't care what you think. Like, who are you?" And he goes, "You don't got to worry about that. I don't know you. You don't know me, but I just don't like the way you effing look." And I'm like, bro, get away from me, right? And then he comes back around, and then one of my buddies, like, because I'm not the type to start a fight, but one of my buddies like grabs him by the shirt and is like, Or he goes, is that the kid? And I was like, yeah. Or I just like shook my head. He grabs him by the shirt and like pushes him up against a wall. And the kid immediately like retracts. It's funny. But then he starts like going, oh, I'll see. Or the bouncer kicks him out. And he's like, oh, I'll see you outside. And I'm like, you ain't going to do anything, dude. And then the bar closed. So we all had to go outside. And my brother was there. Everyone was like there. Like, because people just walk around this area. Because it's not just a bar area either. Like, you can just be wherever going around. Because it's like also where like there's just restaurants and like a lot of even like older people go to this area where it's like right on the water, really pretty even at night. So it's a very active area. And so anyway, it was just kind of like the cool thing to be there, I guess. I never liked it, but anyway, like he just gets a bunch of his friends and they're all like, oh, like look at Ryan Shaw, like 5'7", but at least he's aesthetic. And I'm like, who are you? I'm like looking up at these. Don't get me wrong. Like these people are tall. I'm like, who are you? Like literally, like who are you? I don't even know who you are, but you clearly know who I am. Talking about how aesthetic I am, which obviously I know they're like you know, not being for real, right? Or maybe they think that, but like they're projecting insecurities. I don't know. But it's just funny. And then they tried to fight me, and I literally was like, look, like I'm not trying to fight you. Like I am a first-degree black belt. I took Taekwondo growing up, and I did it like, for a lot of years. So I'm familiar with how to defend myself. I've never really had to. There's only one time in my life that I ever had to do it, and it was very quick. And I was just I'll just make it short. I'll tell that story another time. But I was jumped. I had to fight these kids. No one really got their ass kicked. Then the cops came, and that was basically it. But anyway, so I'm just basically telling him, like, look, dude, like, I don't want to fight you. Like, I just want to go home. Like, it's late. And honestly, I don't think you're going to do anything either. So can we just call it a day? And he goes, like, nah. I'm like, bro, like, and at this point, like, so many people are, like, rallying around me. But then also, turns out there's a lot of people that also were cool with me that I didn't even realize liked me that were having my back. So it was, like, probably, like, 20 people. And I'd say it's about 50-50. Like, people ready to fight for my sake and people to fight for like other kids' sake. And I was like, this is so crazy, bro. It was freezing. What's crazy is there's a cop just watching this whole thing doing absolutely nothing. So I'm just like, okay, sweet. Like, you're a great cop. Thank you so much for protecting us. But anyway, like, kid never did anything, of course. No one ever did anything because most of the time, no one wants to do it. No one wants to fight. It's so funny. Like, people love to like say they want to fight, but no one's going to do anything. That's the best part. And genuinely, I think if you're the type of person, just stay calm. Like, I was just like, look, dude, like, I promise you, like, I don't want to fight you. But if you do throw a punch at me, like, I will have to defend myself. And I don't know if you'd want me to do that. So probably should not start this fight. Like, let's just go our separate ways. And he finally did and be like, look, dude, like, whatever. Like, I'm sorry, bro. Like, I shouldn't have started that or whatever. And I was like, I don't care. Just go home, bro. Like, kid was, like, beyond drunk and hammered. And I'm like, dude, I'm sober. Just go. Like, leave me alone. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to see you. Like, I just want to go home. Go away. And so anyway, yeah, like I can't even go out. And we were just talking about that. It's like, you can't expect people to not know who you are, unfortunately, when you grew up in an area like that. And when everyone's drunk, you know, doing something like fitness, right? Where like my job is to like basically have my shirt off and flex. Like, I can understand if you don't like that, but at the same time, I'm not like affecting you. I'm not harming you. I'm not doing it for any other purpose than, one, it's my job, and two, to try to motivate my audience and, you know, kind of show people what the gym can do for you. So, you know, it's one of those things where it's just like I can understand if you're like, oh, like this kid, like whatever. But at the end of the day, too, it's like, why would that upset you? Like, that I post stuff. One, it's kind of normal to do it now. And then two, like, why do you care if another guy's in shape that posts it? Like, why does that upset you so much? Where like, I don't even know you. We have no prior beef, nothing. But that upsets you to the point where you want to fight me. I don't even know your name. So that's why I will not be doing this Blackout Wednesday stuff when I go home. One, I don't like to drink like that. I definitely had my fair share of moments. And I definitely would like to talk about that separate podcast. But two, it's just like, I don't even want to deal with the drama, bro. Like, plus Stranger Things drops on Wednesday. Like, I'm going to be locked into Stranger Things. So I don't know. Maybe that's just God's way of saying, Ryan, don't go. Just watch Stranger Things. And I'm fine with doing that. That's totally fine. But that's why I haven't even gone out since I've gotten to Tampa. Like, crazy enough. I literally have not gone out. I've just put my head down, got to work. I've enjoyed the area a little bit, of course, you know. But at the end of the day, like, I mean, I'm not tan because, well, I mean, I know I'm not pale, but I'm not, like, dark because I'm not outside tanning much. Whereas like everybody assumes you move to Florida, you're just gonna be tanning all the time. I mean, yeah, if you like are just loaded, have nothing to do, but unfortunately I have to work, and so I'm inside a lot of the time. So yeah, I feel like I'm definitely gonna get made fun of when I get home from my family. Will be like, "Oh, you moved to Florida, and look at you. They'll look like you've never seen the sun." And I'm gonna be like, "Yeah, you're so right. You're absolutely right. You're 100% right." Like for someone that lives in Florida, I'm kind of pale. But yeah, that's kind of like how weird it was living there, and it got to the point like everywhere I went, like I felt like there was an eye, like a set of eyes on me everywhere I went. Again, I'm not saying like I felt like, that even that I think I'm even kind of a celebrity. I'm not saying that shit by any means. I know I'm not even close. Like I have a decent amount of followers in a micro niche. I get it. Like that's fine. Like I'm not gonna pretend. But I also can't pretend that when you grow up in an area and you have followers, like yes, like people will know about that, especially when you've lived there your entire life and people just know you for being who you are in general, and then people also now know who you are because of this, and they'll probably send around and be like, "Oh, this kid like lives here, right?" But I just always felt like somebody was looking at me, like watching me, and it's a really terrible feeling. Like that is not like a lot of horror movies start out that way, thinking that you're always being watched. But it felt like that genuinely most of the time. Not everywhere I went, obviously, but I always felt like in a room full of like 20 to 30 people, somebody in that room had to know who I was, and I could just like feel it. Like like when you feel someone's watching you. That's exactly how I would feel everywhere I went. Not a fun feeling. So that also sucked. That's partly why I'm excited. Or excited. Well, I'm happy that I left. Definitely excited that I left too. Now that I'm like having to go back. But the point of this whole segment is, yeah, like it's so easy to get bound to like the area that you live in, their ideals. Like a lot of people I went to like high school with and stuff, I think they're just basically doing like normal jobs if they graduate at this point. Which is fine. Like, there's nothing wrong with that, right? But I don't know anybody else that's doing what I'm doing. I just literally don't, because it's not something that's like typical from where I'm from. Even though it's not like a small town by any means, it's just not a typical thing. So yeah, I mean, it's definitely good to go out and explore and go to an area where like if you have a dream and you're actually gonna do it, right? If you can't say, "Oh, I'm gonna go to like New York City and pursue like theater," but then not actually one be kind of good at it, right? You could definitely need to like have built up some sort of like resume and experience before you do that. But then two, you actually have to like do it to go lock in on that, right? Because otherwise, what's the point? You're just spending more money to live in a more expensive area. You'll wind up working a day job and then winding up like probably struggling. So, it's one of those things where it's like if you have something that you actually want to pursue, I think it's important to move to a place that supports that. Like if you want to be an actor, like, go to LA. Right? If you want to be a social media influencer, Florida's a great place for that. Like Tampa's good, Miami's great. I think those like the two big ones at this point. I mean, I just think that you need to be surrounded by people that think like you. Otherwise, you're not gonna have the people that you need around you to support you. But then at the same time, too, it's so true. You absolutely are the product of the people that you surround yourself with, right? So if I surround myself with people that just do 9 to 5s, government jobs, corporate, whatever, that's gonna be where I wind up. And I almost did wind up there. Like I was working with my dad doing basically like corporate type of work. I'd put a nice suit on, or not suit, but like, dress shirt, dress pants, tuck my shirt in, sit at the desk all day. I mean, like I was doing that. And that's literally because I was surrounded by it. Now you could literally not convince me to do it because it's not my calling. It's not something I'd be good at because I have not built those skills. I built the skills towards a different career, which is what I do now. The same way, you're not going to expect someone that works at a desk all day to like hop on a podcast like this, episode 3. This is like literally the third time I've done this and be able to talk at a camera for, 30 minutes to an hour, right? It's just not in their skill set, and that's fine. Like somebody has to provide the entertainment, right? Because let's be real, like no, my job's not a necessity or essential, but if no one did any sort of entertainment-based job, life would suck. Like imagine life without music, imagine life without movies, imagine life without YouTube. Someone's got to make the videos, right? Granted, I'm not the one that's making Mr. Beast style videos with millions and millions of views, but at the end of the day, someone's got to be the micro influencer, right? Someone's got to make the other guys look bigger. I'm just being self-deprecating, but you get the idea. So that's why I don't feel bad for what I do, and I'm proud of what I do. And living here has made me realize that I don't need to feel like I'm weird. It's just different. That's fine. Like literally, it's fine. Because now where I'm from, that lifestyle is different and weird. you know? That kind of like concept of like not trying to, work like be self-employed, that like lack of entrepreneurship, or that's not a word, I don't think. Lack of entrepreneurship. Is that even a word? Is my brain moving too quick? It may be. I think it is. It might be a word. I don't know. Let me just stop. Like I'm not a vocabulary influencer, but you get the idea. Around here, that's just kind of what people do. And being around it, like I just saw Barabbas 2 minutes from my apartment. I'm like, oh my God. Granted, I'm not in any position where I'll be buying one anytime soon, but it's like, man, like I've never seen a Barabbas. Like back home, the craziest car I'd ever seen, I think it was probably like a Lamborghini. It was like once or twice. Here, I see them every day. I see Uruses every day. I see Porsche 911s every day. I see Corvette C8s every day. I see, every kind of car. G-Wagon galore. I mean, my God, if you don't have a G-Wagon, you're broke. Not literally, but you know what I'm saying. It feels like it. Back home, it's just not like that. And that's just because people are bound to like what their beliefs are. And they also get like that confirmation bias from the people living around them that, oh, like this is fine. Like it's okay to not want to pursue anything beyond what what your career path is. And I don't personally think that's what you should do. I think that you should pursue something bigger than yourself because you never know, right? Like you literally never know what your life could be. And I don't think anyone dreams of sitting behind a desk when they're little, but obviously you have to wake up to reality sometimes. Not everybody is called to do this, and that's fine. Some people also get enjoyment out of that life, and that's great. Like we need people like that, you know. So like by the way, not knocking anybody's gig at all. Like I think that people just have to understand like you have a role in society, and it's okay to just embrace it. But definitely don't fake who you are because that's what I try to do. Like when I was working with my dad, I was faking who I was because I thought this was normal. I thought this would be like the right thing, and not that it's not cool to, have a corporate job because I think that like that is cool in a way. Like you have security, you have like a good paying job. Like that is cool. It just may not be what you want to do. And that wasn't what I wanted to do. So that's why I think it's super important to leave your hometown and then just see what the life is like outside of it. Because you never know. You might realize, wow, like maybe I grew up in a weird place. Like maybe everyone here is weird. I'm not saying that about where I grew up, but I'm sure that some people leave their hometown. They're like, whoa, like we was shielded and bubbled from everything else, you know? So definitely explore, man. Especially if you're young, like go explore if you can afford to do it. And if you can't afford to do it, but you want to do it, save up, like make it actually happen. Don't just say you're going to do it and then not make steps or not take steps towards it. So that's kind of my spiel about why I think you should leave your hometown. And yeah, even if you end up going back, because sometimes too, what you need to see is the grass is not greener on the other side. I have not seen that personally. I know a lot of people get that type of feeling. They're like, yeah, I left. And then I'm like, oh my God, I got to go home. Dude, I'm sorry. Like, I don't feel that way at all. And I'm a big family person, like super big with super close with my family too. Like I was bawling my eyes out leaving, like uncontrollable. And for the, first, like for a few hours of the drive from Maryland to Florida, I was crying. Like I was like, oh my God, like I felt like this tether to Maryland, and I felt like physically like I was like not supposed to be leaving. It felt so wrong. But now that I'm here and I've been doing it, I'm like, wow, like I could never go home. I could never do it. Like, and honestly, part of me is like a little anxious about going home because it's not. I don't really identify with that area anymore. That doesn't really suit me as an individual, and my ideals are not really accepted there. So I'm a little nervous to go back. Like it doesn't feel like I belong there, and that's fine. It just means I'm not going to be home much, probably just for the holidays. So leave your hometown. That's basically end of story, point blank period. So last thing I want to kind of talk about today is investing in yourself. And notice that I talked about earlier how I said essentially you should save up if you don't have the money to leave home. Well, that would be an investment, wouldn't it? So here's why I think you should invest in yourself, whether it's a skill, whether it's equipment to pursue your dreams, right? Now, I'm not saying like, oh, I have 0 followers, but I have $5,000 saved up and I want to be a fitness influencer. I'm going to buy a super expensive camera and I'll be the next Alex Eubank. Don't do that. Please don't do that. That's not going to happen. That'd be a waste of money. Build up a following first. But, if you've already been grinding towards something, right? And by the way, too, your health, right? Invest in your health. But whatever investment that you make in yourself, it should make sense, right? Like if you're out of shape, you probably should invest in a coach, especially if you're busy working a lot. Because at the end of the day, like if you let your fitness slip, That's on you. And it's only going to get harder to recover the older and older you get and the further away from your goals that you get. So if you're at a point in life where you're like, oh, like, I want to get back in the gym, but I'm working full time. It just doesn't make any sense. I don't see the purpose in it. Like, it's just not a priority. You're thinking wrong. You are literally thinking wrong, because imagine if I like told you, hey, there could be a version of you that's making the same amount of money, doing the same job, but you're jacked with a six pack. Would you rather be that version or this version? Every time they will say that version, right? So, and not to say that the whole point of being in shape or being healthy is to have a six pack, right? But would you rather be an unhealthy version of yourself doing this job or a healthy version? Oh, the healthy version. Okay. Well, do you know how to eat healthy? Do you know how to build healthy habits? No. Have you ever? No. Okay. Well, then if you're working a full-time job, maybe you should hire a coach, right? Someone that does this for a living, that can literally tell you, hey, here's how to build a routine out of your crazy work schedule, right? Here's how we can actually make this work, which I'm sure you can have the craziest work schedule, but if it's not a priority, then it's not a priority, point blank period. And you're not going to make any goals happen. Even if it's literally you're getting 1% better each week because you're that busy, 0% better each week because you're saying 1% better each week isn't worth it is stupid, because over time will pass regardless of if you're doing stuff or not, right? Time will pass if you're working on your goals or if you're not working on your goals. And the more that, wow, excuse me. And the more time that passes, the further you are away from where you'd want to be. And one day you'll wake up, you're like, crap, like, oh man, I was so focused on making money. I didn't even think about my health. And if you're unhealthy, you can't work. So health literally is wealth. So that's just one thing. But beyond that, like if it's a skill, like if you want to be, I don't know, like, I mean, if you want to be a doctor, you have to invest in your education so you can do that, right? You literally have to. So invest in your degree. But if you're someone that's like, oh, like, I really want to be the next fitness influencer. Like I have to do it. Like I don't care. Like I'm already jacked. Like I know my physique's dope. No bias. Like everyone's telling me I look better than everyone in the industry. I just don't know how to post. Okay, well then go pay a successful influencer that also is good at teaching people how to do that, right? Like there's things that you should invest in yourself. And another one too, and this is kind of piggybacking off what I was saying, about, getting, saving up to move. But, if you really feel like your home situation sucks, save up, invest in yourself, get out of it, right? Get out of it. Only you can do that. That's an investment, right? Investing in your peace. Always protect your peace, right? Even if that means you have to spend some money to do it. That's the biggest thing, because you cannot operate as your best self if you don't protect your peace. So even that would be considered an investment. I think at this age, like I see a lot of people buying houses early, and I think that's great. And actually, I was about ready to buy a house next year. I was thinking about, I'm like, I don't really want to do this apartment stuff no more. I just want to get a house. But the way I'm thinking about, or on the other, side of thinking, I'm like, well, if I do that, I'm going to have to save up a ton of money, put a big down payment on it, right? Like even if I do just 10%, right? Like that's still going to be expensive, because I don't want to live in a shack, right? Like I don't want to just buy some $200,000 house when I could just save up for a longer period of time, live in an apartment, and spend the money I would have spent on a down payment investing in myself, right? Whether that's like going on that business trip or buying that new lens for your camera or getting a gym member. Like for example, like when I met Derek Lunsford, current Mr. Olympia, 2-time winner, at his gym, I was like, oh my gosh, like I wasn't planning on getting a membership here, even though it's kind of a pricey gym. I was like, I have to do it. Like that was an investment, right? I was like, I want to work on building this connection, because I felt like a genuine connection there with him. And, I want to explore what that could be, which by the way, such a great dude. Like I could rave about that guy for so long. Like just honestly, one of the most genuine people I've ever met, period. And that's why I'm giving you the shout out, Derek, even though you're definitely not watching this. But point is, like, I was like, screw it. Like I'm gonna get a membership here. I don't care. I'll pay the sign up fee. I'll lock into a year or 6 months. Can't remember what I did. And I'm gonna invest in myself, even though this is gonna be a monthly expense. It's like you can't do that when you are saving up or have spent a ton of money on a down payment, right? So I'm choosing instead experiences and investing in myself to further my career before I decide to settle down, because I don't think I'm in any position to settle down. There's just no way, right? Like I'm not there. I want to continue to grow my career first, and that's why I think like sometimes you have to kind of get a little bit broke, low key, to like get to where you want to be, right? Sometimes you have to take a bit of a risk in life. But and honestly, that's regardless of what your occupation is. Sometimes you do have to take risks. But a lot of times, if you calculate them the correct way, they could pay off. Now, don't take this and say, "Oh, like okay, screw it. Like I'm just gonna put my entire bank account on red and spin it." Please don't do that. Like I'm not saying to do that. I'm just saying. And by the way, when I say broke, I don't mean zero in your bank account. I mean just living within your means because you spent money on something that's going to forward your growth, whether as a person, as a in your career, whatever the case may be, financially. I just think that it's important to do that. And for the longest time, I was scared to do it. But this year I did it. And my life is drastically different. Whether or not I'm filthy rich yet, which, I don't literally want to be filthy rich, but I want to be well off and support my family, not have to work for the rest of my life. Nowhere near that. But regardless, I would rather go through the trials and tribulations now, live within my means, like have a good time also, because time is money too. Not only because how much you make is literally like telling you how much your time is worth, but also because that's one thing you can never buy back, right? So it'd be great to just put your head down for 10 years, be miserable, and then, wind up 30 years old, out of shape, and be like, oh, well, at least I have a ton of money. Okay, well, now what are you going to do with all that money? You're going to have to spend it on your health because you're going to hate the way you look. So you have to spend a ton of money doing that. And you also have to spend time. So it's like you're going to you can sacrifice now and benefit later. Like, no, just balance it, right? Invest in yourself. Don't be scared to take risks because unfortunately every day you drive is a risk, right? So you have to get comfortable taking risks, calculated ones, and invest in yourself, man. Do it. Seriously, do it. Like, I would not be here talking to you if I had not. So take it from me. It's definitely worth it. But know yourself. Make sure you know that this is something you'll take seriously. Like, whatever it is, whatever risk it is you want to take, make sure you've thought about it and you're taking it seriously. Because don't just take risks because it's funny. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I'll be at the casino. Okay, let me not even say that. Like, I've been to the casino twice, but I'll be sports betting. I'll be like, oh, I'm going to put $50 down on this dude to get a touchdown. Like, that's stupid risks. Don't do that. I've lost money doing that. Thank God I'm like up because I had like one crazy bet hit. So I really would have to try to go negative. So I've just like kind of stopped it. But like don't take stupid risks like that. Like think about it, make sure that it's going to benefit you. And a lot of times if the risk doesn't require work from you, not worth it, right? A lot of things might be risky and still require work. If it doesn't require work, good chance it's a bad risk to take. So, that's going to be it for today. I'm going to call it here. I appreciate you listening all the way through. For all my runners, boom. All right, that's the last time I'll do that. I promise. I promise I'm not going to do that again. But I got to make sure that you're awake if you're running right now, even though you're trying to keep your heart rate stable. I'm going to wake you up. Sorry. Shouldn't have done that. I should not have done that. Okay. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to this episode. Don't forget that we now are on another separate channel. I've linked it in the other videos. I'm linking it here as well. After this episode, I will not be posting them on this channel anymore. So make sure you go over to that account, tune in there if you enjoy, obviously. And yeah, I hope that you all had a great Thanksgiving. Be safe on your travels home if you traveled. And winter's here. Lock in.